Today we're going to be taking a look at this chairlift from MAIDeSITE. You may notice I'm on the ground, and that's because that's where we're going to be testing this today. So this chairlift is designed for if an elderly person or disabled person has fallen in their house and they need help to get back up. This will give them that independence and that trust, so they know that they'll be able to get themselves back up if needed. So we're going to get this open today. I'm going to get it assembled and then we're going to test it out. I'm going to show you some features. So as I get it open, I'm going to talk about what's in the box. The first thing I've noticed since I've opened this is most of it actually comes assembled. It doesn't look like there's too much effort and work to put the rest of it together, which I think is fantastic, especially if you are dealing with an elderly person, and they may need someone to come help them put this together. Nice, simple, nothing overcomplicated. I think it's just fantastic. So in the box itself does come the control separate that we will need to plug it in, and then also the charging cable. I do believe it takes about 2.5 hours to charge, and it needs to be charged about every 15 days. Okay, so on the bottom here, you see they do have these suction pads. That's obviously to keep this nice and stable so it won't slip, and this can also be used in a bathtub. Okay, while I have it charging up, let's just go over a couple of features. So the actual charging itself is not the seat. It's the control. That's what you're going to charge, and that way you just plug it in. That way this can be moved around anywhere. It doesn't need to be next to a power source, nothing like that. You can store it away. As you can tell, it's very compact. It does weigh 30 pounds. It has a capacity of 300 pounds. It does have the suction caps on the base, like I said, so it can be used in the bathtub or shower. It is fully waterproof. It adopts the IPX8 standard of waterproof, so it can be submerged underwater. And of course, there's no electricals on the actual chair itself. It's all on that control. Now, the design itself is very durable. Like I said, it weighs 30 pounds. All the steel rods here have the capacity of 300 pounds. It's just very solid, but it doesn't weigh too much. Because it only weighs that 30 pounds, it does mean it can be moved around. Can be lifted up pretty easy, and because it's so compact, we can just set it up, have these 45-degree wings that fold out, which will make it easier if you need to roll up onto the seat. Once that charging is done, which I'm going to get right now, we're going to actually demonstrate this and see how it works. Okay, so as far as operation, all you need to do is open up the backrest and leave it to 45 degrees. Open up the two side wings, grab your control and hold down up. As you can see, the first thing it does is actually correct this backrest. It's gonna have you in a nice 45-degree angle so you can actually push back onto it. And then you just continue holding up. So of course it's designed with your safety in mind. So it doesn't want to raise up too fast because, if you just have 4, you don't want to raise up too fast and be lightheaded. It's nice and sturdy, so even once you're up, you can sit there as long as you need before you can stand up. And it's very stable, so there's no fear of you actually toppling over while on it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is drag myself onto the chair as if I just had a fall and my legs aren't working. And now I'm going to test it out. Gonna raise myself back up. I'm 172 pounds, so it's definitely not gonna push the capacity of this lift chair, but we are gonna see it in action. So one of the first things I noticed as I was going up is my legs. Because they were out, they naturally came back into a sitting position. I didn't have to force them back in. The natural angles of the chair helps you just get back into a proper sitting position, which is of course going to help you get back into a standing position. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to take this to the bathtub and actually submerge it in water and test it underwater. Just while I'm moving it, I did notice that it does have this really good handle right here. Really durable, you can pick the whole thing up. And like I said, it's only 30 pounds, so it is really nice and easy to move around and relocate if that's something you need to do. Okay, so as I fill up the bathtub right here, I have placed the lift chair in. And the first thing I noticed is the suction caps work amazingly. Once I put it in the bathtub, I could not lift it up at all. And that was a look at the MAIDeSITE chairlift. Now there's a couple of things that just really stand out to me. And one thing is that it's versatile, it's lightweight, it's designed that it can be lifted really easily and moved around. It can be used in the bathtub because it is waterproof, or it can be placed somewhere in your house in case of an emergency that happens and you need that help getting back up after a fall. And with that, the other thing I love is this control and the fact that this is what it runs off. It doesn't need to be connected into power the whole time. Yes, this needs to be recharged. It does take about 2.5 hours, but you only need to do it every 15 days. So that's every 2 weeks. You just need to pop this on charge just in case an emergency happens. Or if you want to use it in a bathtub like this, you're really going to get maximum use out of it. So to wrap it up, the chairlift from MAIDeSITE, it's kind of like a warm hand from a friend or a family member that's kind of just there to help you when you need that extra help. If you are interested in getting the chairlift from MAIDeSITE, we are going to leave a link in the description. Please leave a comment below if you can think of any other use cases for an electric chairlift like this. Please like the video and share it with anyone that you may think might need this. And of course, hit subscribe for more great reviews like this. We'll see you in the next one.